Were you someone who enjoyed FTL but always wondered, why isn't there more of this? In the decades since its release, there have been plenty of games that expanded on the exciting head-to-head spaceship micromanagement action with some great results. But now we finally have an almost exact duplication from the F all the way to the L and everything in between. And that missing T now stands for Trigon Space Story. Dive into the role of a space captain venturing out into the galaxy with an omnipresent swarm of alien warriors ready to show up at any time and kick your ass and the asses of each of your crew right into whatever sun you happen to be orbiting. You're tasked with the ambiguous goal of bouncing from system to system across this moderately sized galaxy, attempting to address a handful of primary quests with probably important to someone issues conveyed through boxes of text. On this journey, you'll encounter a variety of alien races who almost exclusively want to fill your ship and ship components with life-ending projectiles. To counter that threat, you can participate in the almost hilariously familiar task of managing ship power to components, charging weapons, aiming them at the ship on the right side of the screen, and blasting it until your opponents retreat or swan dive into the vacuum of space. You'll have all the classics like blasters, plasma rifles, missiles, and even bomb teleporters at your disposal to diversify your ongoing space massacre. You can't just shoot randomly though, you have to make sure you aim true and pray to RNGesus that you hit what you're shooting at. Because if you don't, the enemy will use their superior RNG powers to systematically engineer a collection of new assholes in your ship hull, and when everything is fully broken, all you can do is sit back and watch the fireworks. Of course, if you don't miss and turn that engineering of assholes back on their ship, they too will suffer in silence, desperately trying to fix systems as you repeatedly disable them until they're entombed in a sarcophagus of failure. Then you can scoop up their loot to upgrade and repair your various systems like weapons, doors, shields, sensors, life support, and your trusty hyperdrive. Just like that cool FTL game we all used to play. Now you can venture onward to systems with sensor-blocking nebula, hull-piercing asteroids, and occasional events requiring you to solve space problems by selecting choices using your ship or crew skills to ensure less shitty results. You'll also find stations full of all the goodies you need to keep your space adventure on the move. Here you can buy and sell items, pick up new crew members, and implement all of the features the ship manufacturers didn't feel like you needed but supplied plenty of room to add just in case you found them. Once you're fully stocked and crewed, you can roam around randomly between systems, building up a bounty until full gangs of enemies jump you in the dark alleys of space. If you've hoarded enough guns, drones, and most importantly dodge percentage, they'll be dead before they can even turn their weapons in the right direction. Or you could be unceremoniously bombarded with a fuck you barrage that ends your entire roguelike run in a matter of seconds, giving you the limitless fun of starting it all over again. Trigon Space Story. It's less fun FTL but with better graphics. Despite the obvious fact that this game doesn't even begin to differentiate itself from FTL and does a pretty good job in the process, it falls short in a number of ways. The first and probably worst are the numerous massive difficulty spikes where you can go from burning through enemy after enemy to getting slaughtered seemingly out of nowhere and sometimes instantaneously. It took me 7 hours just to finish the first chapter with 5 main story missions, and that was after 9 attempts. Then the open form galaxy travel seems nice at first, but with the randomized mission placement, you can end up with things right next to you or all the way across the map despite having all the same campaign requirements and outcomes. It does pick up some of the same qualities that made FTL an absolute classic, and the faster pacing of the combat can be exciting, but being so similar it demands direct comparison. And with that comparison, it falls short in key areas like balance and game flow. That's why I'm giving Trigon Space Story the abbreviated score of OK. If you'd like to see more hot takes, warm satire, and tepid commentary about video games, make sure to subscribe and check out my other abbreviated reviews.